I was having a conversation with my mother years ago when I was in the process of buying my first home. And at the conclusion of purchasing my first home, one Sunday after church, my mother and I were having a conversation. I said, I miss going out and looking at homes and looking at the pluses and the minuses and the nuances about the property. And it's a little bit different now that I have my own home. And so my mother said to me, she says, well, you ever think about becoming a real estate agent? And I looked at her and pondered, and I said, no, I haven't. And she looked at me a little bewildered, and she's like, okay. Dare I ask why? And I said, well, I never thought about real estate in the capacities as a real estate agent because I never thought of myself as a salesperson. I said, if I'm a real estate agent, that means I'm a salesperson. And I'm not a salesperson because if I'm a salesperson, I can sell you anything. And I'm not that guy. So that was back in late 90s. And that bug stayed there for a while. And I found myself looking in the Sunday Sun, Baltimore Sunday Sun, looking at the homes for sale and the different articles and things of that nature. And my mother is looking at me in different times when I would visit her on Sundays, and she's like, oh, you're reading the real estate section again, are we? I'm like, I am. So I started to do a little bit more research to get a better understanding about becoming a real estate agent, a real estate practitioner, and what it took, the licensing and so forth. And so I did a little bit more research, and I decided, I said, you know what? If my schedule frees up some time, I will strongly consider that. And that's what I did about a year and a half later. I think there was some classes being offered on Saturday and Sunday for about 4 weeks, all day, 8 hours. And I decided to sign up and enrolled, and I guess the rest is history. So I thought about it from the standpoint of what was it that made me interested in real estate? What was it that made me interested in purchasing my own home? And I thought if I could create a connection with potential clients and help them realize the potential, realize the excitement, the importance of wealth building and having your own versus renting, which is nothing wrong with renting at all. But if someone's really interested in owning their own home or even owning multiple homes, investment homes, whatever the case may be, my goal was to have a conversation and to lend my services and let them know that I was able to help in any capacity. I've learned over the years, especially when I bought my first home, how many people were interested in the process, how many people were excited about the opportunity, but also how many people were intimidated, scared, didn't think they could do it. And once I learned that and heard their story, their excitement, their curiosity, their concern, I really thought, okay, this could be an opportunity for me to help first-time home buyers, move-up buyers, investment buyers, luxury buyers, international buyers, strongly consider what the transaction would take in order to complete. So in the beginning, interesting enough, my first client happened to be my fiance, and she said, "Okay, yes, we will be getting married, and I need to sell my house. I want to sell my house, and there's only one real estate agent that I plan on hiring to do that. So no pressure at all. So that was very interesting, and it was a very successful transaction. And then from there, I made sure I had business cards at all times, and I gave my business card to anyone and everyone that would receive it, but not necessarily in a mechanical way. It was one of those things where if there was an opportunity that I could share my business card with a comment or a conversation attached to it, that was my goal. I didn't want to be like a robot. Here, take my business card, because oftentimes no one would really look at it. So there was an opportunity to share my business card and briefly share, give an overview of what I did and how I did it. That's what I would do. So within my first, I say my first year and a half, was very, very strong, very, very powerful. I was one of the top agents in my office, and interesting enough, I was dual career. So it was one stretch where I had a transaction being completed via settlement 8 weeks straight, which was very exciting. And again, it was talking. It wasn't overdoing it. It was just more or less talking to my sphere of influence and just sharing with individuals. This is what I do. If I could be of service to you, a relative, a family member, anyone of your sphere of influence, please don't hesitate to share. And interesting enough, individuals started to do that, and it worked out really well for me. Time management and making sure I was balanced. Family time, personal time, goal setting time. So just making sure that time management was a really, really important key component in order to have a game plan, in order to have a strategy, in order to develop goals and achieve those goals. Interesting enough, it was one of those things where I wanted to make sure that I was providing a service that was efficient and effective, but most importantly, honest. And so I've worked with so many different buyers over the years where they were told by a lender or a realtor, you'll never, ever be able to purchase a home. And I had a couple of clients that told me that. And I said, well, I give homework assignments to my clients. I'm not a miracle worker, but if you communicate and you complete your homework assignments and you're going to put in the time and the effort, I'll meet you along the way and we'll have this goal completed and satisfied. And most importantly, I'm a little selfish because I have two goals. One, to have the transaction completed, which means you will be a homeowner, which means I'll have a place to visit for a nice meal. And then secondly, you'll tell some friends about this powerful, tremendous real estate agent that you have that is the best in the game. So those are my two pieces of motivation that serve me pretty well. I dream of having the opportunity to surprise my wife and my son with our, I should say, our vacation beach home in Rehoboth Beach. I want to surprise them in such a way that they will never ever forget it and have that opportunity to share with family and friends that with hard work, determination, and goal setting, it can be done. That'd be the number one thing for me. But aside from that, real estate related wise, from the profession standpoint, I want to make sure that I have the opportunity to work with anyone and everyone who's serious about home ownership, whether you're on the selling side or the buying side. I want to make sure I can do that. I want to work with the first time home buyer, the move up buyer, the luxury buyer, the international buyer, the sports entertainment buyer. Anyone and everyone that I can have the opportunity would love to work with to satisfy their goal of achieving home ownership in whatever capacity, whether it's investment, second home, third home, vacation home, whatever the case may be. What I would like is to continue to improve my craft of being a professional practitioner in real estate. And what I mean by that is real estate is always evolving. It's never stagnant, which is a beautiful thing. The caveat to that is making sure that I am tuned up and in tune with all of the opportunities and tools that are afforded to me to make sure that I provide that premier customer service experience to my clients. So just trying to stay up on technology, up on resources that will ultimately help my client better serve my client. And again, because real estate is forward progressing on a regular basis, that can be a little daunting. But having great mentors and great supporting colleagues, I think that can get done. So I think my brand is it resonates and coincides with website, which is friendlymdrealtor.com. And what I've learned talking to, getting feedback from some of my clients, is the fact that I am very friendly. Sure, I'm 6'7" in height and I'm north of 280 pounds, but nevertheless, some of my clients have called me the gentle giant that gets the job done. And I appreciate that. Um, they thought that I have had an opportunity to directly offer and deliver on what I said I was going to do. You were going to have a communication that was fluid or according to what you indicated on your profile. Do you want to be communicated, every day, once a week? What kind of updates would you like and when would you like them? So, interesting enough, I was a co-host of a radio show last week, and a couple of my clients surprisingly called in to the radio show and provided wonderful, wonderful feedback on my services. One client has said, Mr. Grooms delivered on everything he said. Interesting enough, I signed a listing agreement on Friday evening, and he called me. I'm sorry, I called him on Sunday around late afternoon, and I said to him, "So I was just calling to see if you had a contract. You sold my house." And surprisingly, he's like, "Well, as a matter of fact, I do have a signed contract," and I couldn't believe it. So that was just pretty cool. And she said, I received, working with Mr. Grooms, I received the condo of my dreams. Move in ready, just posh, overlooking a beautiful skyline view of Baltimore City. And then another client called in, who I'm working with right now. And she said, "Oh, Mr. Grooms is a saint." I don't know about that, but I'll take it. And she said, "He's very patient. He provides exactly what he says he's going to deliver. He's going to make sure that his clients are well informed." And that's where the homework part comes in. So, and then the third client that called in said that he couldn't believe the professionalism that I provided him with when he was selling a home and also purchasing a home. And he had a young infant child. So there's a lot of moving parts. And he said the process was seamless. They saw about 15 homes I showed them. And they couldn't believe the attention to detail and the information that was provided for them to understand what they were looking for and looking at as it relates to the different houses. And so he said, I had to hire Mr. Grooms again to sell my father's home right now. So just hearing that was very humbling, and at the same time very gratifying and reassuring that I am providing a service that may or may not be expected based on what I indicate that I'm going to do and then how I deliver it. So in reference to my brand, I think I'm living up to the friendly part. And I think if I could take out the MD and just be friendly realtor, so it can be all 50 states and internationally, so that'd be even better. It's a good question. I think it's time and access. I think as I continue to network, as I continue to grow and evolve as a real estate professional, I think those things will materialize. But I think at this particular time, again, by there being so much competition, I'm constantly interviewing or being interviewed to see if I want to be hired for someone to represent them in a sale of their home or to purchase their home. So, again, training, being unique, trying to have some cutting edge services, technology that some of the other real estate agents don't have or aren't using, I think will continue to help me to elevate my business, my brand, and separate myself from what they do. And I think if I continue to do that and have the conversations, build the relationships, I think they will merge and it will ultimately happen. If it's one thing that I believe that others don't believe, I think everyone has the option to purchase their home if they're willing, I should say, to be a home owner if they want to put the time in investing and the resources and the understanding of what it takes to be a homeowner and to essentially you're going to be a property manager of your own home. Some individuals are interested, some are unsure, some just don't know, some are just scared. But I truly believe if one is interested in being a homeowner, that can be ultimately achieved. As I look into the future, I am most excited about achieving the goal of securing that dream home, that beach home in Rehoboth for my wife and my son and my family overall. We wouldn't be selfish and stingy about it. But nevertheless, I think I would be really excited about achieving that goal. Secondly, preparing for the future of my son and what his next steps are. And then there's an opportunity to continue to introduce real estate as I have done, introduce real estate to him. And maybe he may have an attraction or interest of somewhat, or he can understand that this is a profession that is available to him in addition to other career desires. And then most of all, just the power of real estate. Real estate in itself is just powerful on so many different platforms. Again, international, luxury, the interest of overseas buyers interested in purchasing U.S. property in certain states and so forth. So just really excited about where real estate is headed. I am very passionate about one automobile in particular, and that is the Chevrolet Stingray Corvette. And I enjoy researching that particular car because it's not necessarily a dream car. I've had one before. I'm ready for another one. So therefore, I need some sales. But on a serious note, in conjunction with my spending time with my son and my wife, I am an avid bike rider. I try to schedule that as much as possible. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And then in addition to that, I enjoy bowling. I enjoy just being active. Love football. Don't play, but I watch. Um, so, big Ravens fan, the home team, the Orioles, Baltimore Blast. But just trying to relax at home, enjoying my home, um, playing a little pool, and just relaxing and just kind of taking it easy. And then spring and summertime, trying to be at the beach. Essentially making enough money to secure those dreams. And that's just being realistic. There's some, I have, I guess, what you might consider small, medium, and large, extra large dreams. And just having the opportunity to secure the resources and the proceeds to materialize those dreams. Not unusual. Not upset about it. It's just reality. And certain things had to get put on the back burner to take care of more immediate responsibilities. But nevertheless, they are on the vision board, if you will. They stay on the vision board. If they need to get tweaked, that's fine too. But I do think I'm a realist as opposed to the glass being half full. I'm sorry, half empty. So I think just having the resources in order to fulfill those dreams. But that's okay because, again, the passion that I have for real estate and all of the wonderful individuals and so forth I've met along the way, I think time will tell, and it's only a matter of time. Absolutely. Oh my goodness. I just there's always a commonality in some way, shape, or form. Participated in a VIP bowling event about a month or so ago, and met some individuals that gave my business card to, and they're like, "Oh, cool, real estate. Okay, yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm not necessarily sure." So it's just one of those things. You never know where you're going to be if there's an opportunity to have that conversation about real estate directly or indirectly. Um, with some of the individuals I used to participate with mountain biking and bike riding, again, we have a commonality, a common thread about riding our bikes. And it just so happens when we're taking a break, the phone rings. Oh, okay. And oh, what client? What? May I ask what do you do? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a real estate professional. No way, really. We got to talk. I'm thinking about an investment property. My mother is considering selling her home. So It's just one of those things you just never ever know. One of my favorite restaurants is Outback Steakhouse. I can't begin to tell you how many conversations I've had with some of the wait staff and individuals at Outback about buying or selling a home. So it's one of those things where it's always there, it's always on. The question is, am I always on, ready, willing, and able to have that conversation? But yeah, it's there. It really is. The 10-year version of myself would be proud because when I was younger, as a child and as a preteen and a teen, I was somewhat shy. No one believes that, but I was very shy growing up because I was ill. So I had to make sure that when I was in school, it was about school and not social. So I had to make sure I was focused and very purposeful regarding securing my studies. But as I grew into a teenager and older teenager, slowly but surely I started to come out of my shell. And I think that was very, very powerful and very, very necessary and important in order for me to be able to conduct a home buyers class in front of however many, just to be able to have a conversation and not feel shy or nervous or just unsure about the knowledge and information that I know to be true. So I would say my 10-year-old self would be very proud and excited about the person, the young adult, the adult I've evolved into. Researching and understanding what opportunities of education are available and were afforded to me in order for me to understand what is needed and how to break into that business. So that was the biggest struggle. Just the same holds true for new construction. Very interested, always very excited about new construction to see dirt materialize into a wonderful home, but not necessarily knowing where I needed to go and what was available. The website, I'm sorry, the web itself was very powerful, but it's so much information. Like, how do you funnel it and how do you synthesize it to make sure it's current, it's accurate for the local market, at least that I serve, for then. And then the luxury and the global and international is like, okay, there has to be some resources out there, but I need to, again, need the time in order to drill down to find out the appropriate resources to strike a chord in the understanding of the international market. It's been 11 plus years. I'm probably one of the senior agents in the office. And interesting enough, I have agents that come to me as a mentor, as a leader, if you will, as if I know anything. So it's very humbling from that standpoint. But I take that unassumed responsibility very serious because it keeps me on my toes. It keeps me on point and very relative to what's taking place in the real estate industry, which is fine. But it's one of those things I'm taken back as well because it's like you're asking me about what? I'm like, what? So who made me this resource? But again, it's one of those serious opportunities for me to share my experience, share what I've learned, and put my frame of reference on it so they can help them. And interesting enough, there's been some seasoned agents that have asked for my opinion, my feedback as well. So it's been a wonderful experience. It's been one of those things where what else can I do to be unique and to separate myself from the competition, not necessarily with an exit, but just overall, and to have that opportunity for more potential buyers and sellers to be attracted to what I offer. How can I really differentiate myself to make that work? And so it's been a good ride. I want to continue the journey. I want to continue to learn, and continue to elevate and go to the next level. I'm ready to soar. The most influential person in my life, I would probably say, is Jesus. Because without the prayer and the guidance and the dedication and the understanding in my faith, I don't think any of this would be possible. If someone were to tell me 15 years ago that I would be a real estate agent, I would have scratched my head and said, really? Are you serious about this? So I think the different jobs that I've had, the different tasks, the different responsibilities that I've had probably from age 18 to date have actually set me up and developed all of the skill sets that I needed in order to be a successful real estate agent. Understanding, yes, there can be lucrative propositions to be made in real estate, but why am I really in it? Am I in it just to make money and try to ultimately become wealthy, which is nice? But am I in the real estate profession for another purpose? And I think I'm in the real estate profession for another purpose, and that is to help individuals who are interested in home ownership, but they just don't know. So I think part of my gift, my talent, my mission is to educate individuals about the opportunity of home ownership and debunk any of those rumors that may not be true that they have been told or heard or read. And I think that's where I've been guided and my faith has come from. And I think that's where the Lord has me and continues to keep me. And, all of the bumps and bruises, we keep on persevering and moving forward. So I think that would be it. I am Eric F. Grooms, real estate sales counselor or realtor with Exit Spivey Professional Realty, located in Ellicott City, Maryland. The phone number to best reach me, contact me, is 410-370-6732. My website is Friendly MD Realtor. That's Friendly, FRIENDLY Realtor, REALTOR.com. It's a trick question. And I think the Exit Spivey Professional Realty has been around for approximately 15 plus years. I've been here for 11 plus years. Donnell Spivey is the broker. He has 30 plus years of real estate experience within the Baltimore and surrounding counties. You can find me on social media with Facebook. Facebook and LinkedIn are my top two social media platforms. If you type in Erik F. Grooms, Realtor, I should pop up. And if I don't pop up, call me. We can always have a conversation on the phone. Again, that number is 410-370-6732. I'm also on LinkedIn as well, Erik F. Grooms, and you can find me there as well. Would love to have a conversation with anyone in the 50 states, DC, internationally, globally. I am here to talk real estate and to find out how I can best service you, your dreams, your goals, and your needs in real estate, selling, buying, investing, or whatever the case may be.